I recently saw a video. It was a woman talking about how white people don't bathe properly. Hygiene is like a cultural thing, you know. And it takes me back to this horrible moment of either 2019 or 2020 when I had seen a similar video on my For You page back then. I sent it to the group chat, and I was like, I remember just saying something like, ew, like I shower every night, like I think it's gross if you don't like clean yourself every day. Something like that. Oh boy. Was I attacked? Yes, I was attacked. I was the bad guy. I was the bad guy. The responses I got to that message went a little bit like, what do you mean you shower every day? You're only supposed to shower 2 to 3 times a week. What do you mean you use a washcloth? That's super damaging to your skin. I just use my hands to wash myself. I shower once a week and I'm still clean. Okay, but I have a swimming pool and I use it a lot, so that counts. So I don't really have to shower that often. I knew these people for years. So yeah, unfortunately, these claims are very, very true.
I learned that white people don't use washcloths. Did you know that? I'm serious. They have one bar of soap in the house. Every time I use it, somebody else's pubic hair was in it. So I use the clothes. Why you guys gotta put the raw bar soap in your butt and all this? Maybe I need to wash my face or my feet.
I don't say we avoid bathing, but we bathe very rarely.
Oh my God, I'm so happy that you're talking about this.
Yeah.
She
Didn't have a bath for like 5 months of her life.
Yeah, like we didn't bathe her for the first whole part of her childhood. And like now we basically bathe her as she asks for it because it's fun.
Wash my hands. Oh, I was gonna say that too. I don't care. I'm done. I'm done hiding it. Also, we talked about this. Yes. Boys washing their hand, that means your dick's dirty. If you have to wash your hand after you pee, what do you get, a dirty dick? Why do I have to wash my hands? For what? I'm not sticking my hand up my vagina. And you know what's crazy? And I think a lot of people do this. Like if I'm in a public restroom and there's people in the stalls, I will even, after I pee, go to the sink, wash the water, like pretend. Run the water, pretend I'm washing my hands. Get some paper towels, get out. Or I'll run. I'll run out of the bathroom before the other person comes out.
Keep it on moving. Keep on. Come here, boy. Now, you look very studious. Now, you just came out of stall, didn't you? And you was going to walk right out that door, weren't you, boy? And wasn't even going to wash your hand. Get over here and wash your hand. That's how disease get passed. No. I mean, no damn. Damn. And you stink, too. I don't think you finished. Bro. Come on, let's go.
Okay. So now we're on page 76. Now, this is very interesting. In the States, they could speak a primitive language. Some Soviet scientists have maintained that Neanderthals might not have been able to speak at all because the structure of their neck vertebrae impinged upon potential larynx development. But the captors' traditions insist that they can speak. But perhaps only in guttural sounding grunts and a few single syllable sounds. Okay. It goes without saying that these captors are also noted for their stench.
Help me? The wheel came off. I can't fix it. Maybe if I could, but I can't.
And the only good thing about no soap is that you can smell hijackers a mile off. I am impressed. This man smelled us from 30 feet away. What's that say about our hygiene?
But this would hold for any wild animal living under such conditions for any modern person living under the same conditions for any length of time. Okay. It is interesting, though, that the characteristic smell of wild man has been compared more than once to the smell of a field of potatoes. As we shall see, some of these apparently trivial details about captors, which in no way contradict our picture of Neanderthals, but only add to it, become extremely suggestive that when we come to discuss Esau of the Bible, I have placed Esau in quotes in the last sentence because most people naturally think that Esau was an isolated throwback born to Isaac. The Old Testament purposefully gives that impression. But the truth of the matter is that the Israelites were quite literally plagued with offspring like Esau, meaning what? The Caucasians, right? They were referred to as the hairy ones. Key word, hairy ones. Now we're back at the Blue Letter Bible, and it states Genesis 25:25, and the first came out red. There's 40 variations of the color red, all over like a hairy garment, and they called his name Esau. Now, when you look up the Strong Concordance for hairy, H8163, English equivalent, kid, goat, devil, satyr, hairy, I repeat, hairy, and rough. So obviously this is not a so-called white man's book. It was through the age of discovery and the black monarchs that most nations have our book. Okay, this notion that we're all slaves and they taught us the scriptures, that's not real history. That's false. They were referred to as the hairy ones in the Bible, and according to rabbinical traditions, they were numerous enough to contest Jacob's leadership of the Hebrew clans. Okay, the Israelites made every effort to exterminate these numerous hairy ones among them. Esau, who were very frequently born to Hebrew mothers, they were exterminated and they were called scapegoats.
I made the conscious decision to stop washing my hands. I think when I was in college. Was it college for you? I don't know. That's when I remember it, because one of my good friends from college also doesn't wash her hands, and it was like how we had that bonding experience. One day I was like, I'm just not gonna wash them. She was like, I'm not either. I don't wash my hands.
I don't really trust people that wash their hands because, well, one, I don't think it does anything to actually wash. It doesn't do anything to actually wash them.
I do wash if I go number 2.
They didn't used to wash them back in like the way back in the day when they didn't have, and you would go to the bathroom out in the outhouse. Nobody washed their hands then, and there was less diseases.
I sometimes, like, when my roommate's home, I'll have to like turn the water on because I'm like, I don't want them to think I'm like disgusting.
I'll like text. I'll like turn the water on and like take a text break and be
literally,
like,
I'm like, When you're at work and someone that you know goes into the stall, you're like, well, I guess I'll fake washing my hands now.
We're always in the bathroom with Kate, and I'm always like,
we also don't shower.
The hand washing. I thought that was going to be like, everyone was going to be like, thank you for speaking your truth, queen. Everyone's like, you're fucking disgusting.
That is gross.
That's gross. And I'm like, and I posted a video yesterday. I was like, dude, what are you talking about? Like, you say that, I had to delete it. I was like, you're really saying in the comfort of your own home, you wash your hands after you pee? No, you fucking don't. All the comments are like, yeah, I fucking do. I'm like, damn.
Yeah.
I really thought they were going to be like, yes, queen.
And like, I think about like, do my roommate see that? Does she think I'm just
don't
making
you think
germs
everyone thinks you're
everywhere?
gross
Yeah.
now? It's just like, I just when I'm peeing, I'm just not washing.
That's one thing we don't like, but we lost friends over this though, so I get it.
Now we're going to look at this book, The Black Rulers, Military Leaders, Clergy, and Moors Who Saved Medieval Europe. Of course, we're stealing other people's history, right? We're stealing other people's history. Page 56, and it states, Africans introduced civilizations as prerequisites to a healthy society in Europe. During the Moorish occupation, black Moors taught white, quote-unquote, white Europeans how to bathe, and other hygienic rituals required in order to build a healthy society. Among the other necessary features of civilization, okay? It says originators of these features, he was born of what is today modern-day Iran, 789, to a freed Ethiopian slave. His nickname, Zirib, means blackbird and refers to his dark complexion and stunning singing voice. Dark complexion, huh? That means swarthy, right? His hygienic practices besides bathing, including shaving and the use of toothpaste. You gotta brush your teeth, okay? Perfumes, fragrant oils, and deodorant. Prior to the introduction of these innovations into European society, these practices were unknown to white Europeans or the wild man, okay? And Moors who introduced these rituals were not given credit for these contributions. Go figure, right? Go figure. In addition, during the 10th century, Africans also introduced the following innovations: paper making, irrigation and fertilization, astrology, food preservation, guitar, libraries, universities, etc. Okay. Now we're going to look at this book, Arthur Koestler, The 13th Tribe. Right here it states on page 39, accustomed to the splendid baths of Baghdad, our travelers could not get over the dirtiness of the Turks. The jihads, or the gods, do not wash themselves after defecating or urinating, nor do they bathe after seminal pollution or on other occasions. They refuse to have anything to do with water, particularly in water. When a guy's commander-in-chief took off his luxurious coat of brocade to don a new coat the mission had brought him, they saw that his underclothes were fraying apart from dirt, for it is their custom never to take off the garment they wear close to their bodies until it disintegrates. Another Turkish tribe, the Bashkirs, shave their beards and eat their lice. I repeat, shave their beards and eat their lice. They search the folds of their undergarments and crack the lice with their teeth. When Ibn Fadlan watched a Bashkir do this, the later remarked to him, "They are delicious." Okay, and I'm not making this shit up. Now, right here on the back of the book, it states, the Khazar sway extended from the Black Sea to the Caspian, from the Caucasus to the Volga, and they were instrumental in stopping the Muslim onslaught against Byzantium, the eastern jaw of the gigantic piercer movement that in the west swept across northern Africa and into Spain. So a lot of those Ottoman Turks, which stem from the Caucasian seed line or the Edomite, bloodline, they're the ones, or their ancestors are the ones that carried lice and diseases. That's why they call it the Black Plague. They play on words. This is what decimated the black, quote unquote, population in Europe or the medieval times. And of course, no antibodies, no defensism, so people die off. And of course, the squatter moves in, takes the records, and now they are, identity theft.